Hey everyone, it's Lisa Loring, and I'm going to go ahead and do this practice live today. We'll even do it live on the Instagram. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's see what we can do. Live. All right. Checking the connection. Oh. We don't want to see like my weird purse and stuff. That would be better. All right, so actually probably down here is a better thing going on for the live. Okay, so yeah, we're doing this live today, and we'll see what goes. So not just on Instagram Live, but we're doing it on Facebook. Not Facebook, I'm not on Facebook. YouTube Live. So today's practice, you will not need a rolled up mat, I don't think. I double checked it, and I didn't see that that was what we were doing. We are not doing any mat stuff, but we are going to do a little wall work. So I'm going to go home and open up my extra mat. If you don't have an extra mat, that's okay. That doesn't matter. I just don't want to be messing with it a little later on. And make sure that you have some free wall space to do the practice. What's the other thing that we want to make sure we have? Blocks. If you have a cork or a wooden block, that's probably a good idea to use, as well as a foam block. I like the wider ones just because they really do offer a little more support. They're a little more dense, but if you have maybe a couple of thinner ones, I would grab those. And do we need a strap today? I always like to have a strap, and I'd like you to have a blanket today. So grab a blanket of some sort. Now, we don't need so I'm not going to speak to that. That's fine. And I think that's good. We're going to do some arm balancy stuff today, and we're going to do some twisty stuff today. And let's see. Now we're just doing some twisty stuff and we're going to actually, the reason for the blanket is because we'll apex in shoulder stand, and to support the neck, I think is really necessary, especially in the age of smartphones and computers, which is basically like our lives, right? So yeah, we're going to do this live today. So let's get started. I am doing a forest yoga practice. I am doing this live, but I am not going to be very active with the chat, and I will absolutely speak to that as we go along. If you have questions that you put in the chat, go ahead and put them there. I will answer them later when we finish the practice. Or you can ask me comments, and you can have comments or suggestions or anything that you do later, and I can certainly catch up with you. We can speak to all of that a little bit later in the practice, or a little later outside of the practice, offline. So let's get started. I'm going ahead and starting. I'm going to angle the camera down now. So like I said, I'm not going to be so much about the, like I said, the live chat and whatnot. So this is just my personal practice, and I am sharing my time and my expertise with you. And the sequencing. So you take responsibility for your body in the way that you know you need to. And, if you have any medical conditions or whatever, please make sure that you check with a doctor before you embark on any exercise program, and especially this one, because you're flying solo here. So I'm working with a golf ball under my right foot right now. I like to open up my feet at the same time that I open up my wrists. So we'll go ahead and do wrist stretches, although we might do some wrist stretches. Maybe I'll do stage 2 or the floor when we work them in bridge, because this sequence is, I originally see it as written, called for wrist stretches in bridge. And Darren Bullweiler here in Washington, D.C. knows how much I hate doing wrist stretches in bridge. But what you resist? So anyway, maybe we will do them. We'll do them again maybe, but I'd like to go ahead and do them before we get open. And pre-practice, I did a practice called Sidewinder and a practice called Windmill. If you want cues on doing those, please check out another video that you see, maybe one I did last week, or just read the sequencing as I think probably the sequencing in another, from another practice. So we'll go ahead and get started. Starting, like I said, I'm rolling out my feet with a golf ball. If you like to roll out your feet, but you don't want the intensity of a golf ball, try with a what are they called? Tennis balls or racket balls. Lacrosse balls are a little bigger too. So those are also good options. And I'm just going to leave my glasses on for now so I can kind of see if anybody comes on. All right, so I'm taking my left hand and extending the palm out. Grab pinky finger, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, pull back on pinky finger. Inhale, grab a hold of the ring finger. And exhale, pull back on ring finger. Inhale, grab a hold of middle finger. Exhale, pull back on middle finger. Inhale, grab a hold of index finger. That is Sophia, my cat. Exhale, pull back on index finger. Oh, she's so funny. No, cancel. She's so funny. She's like fooling around. She's rubbing her face on the phone. So she's like messing up the Instagram read. I don't think I did the thumb yet. So we've got to do that piece. Gosh, I'm like super distracted today. I think actually if you watch these videos, it's super distracted every day. And I'm going to work hard to not be that person today. Okay. So you have a little better flow. Inhale, grab a hold of the thumb. And exhale, pull back on the thumb. And as I said, I'm working a forest yoga practice, which is normally done in a heated space at minimum 85 degrees, I think. But I am not heating my house to 85 degrees. I am heating it to whatever it is. And so I'm layered up a lot more so than you would normally see a forest yogi be layered up. I also tend to run a little chilly. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, pull back on the pinky finger, stretching all the fingers wide. Inhale, grab a hold of the ring finger. And exhale, pull back on the ring finger. Feeling the skin on the hand stretch. Inhale, grab a hold of the middle finger. And I'm taking my breath in after I speak to you, right? Exhale, pull back. So I'm speaking on exhale, and I encourage you to do that as we work through practice, as where you work through your life. You take a breath in for yourself, grab onto your index finger, and then exhale, pull back on the index finger. Inhale, grab a hold of the thumb. And exhale, pull back on the thumb. So when you breathe in for yourself, you breathe in and you nourish yourself. You put oxygen and therefore intelligence in your body. So when the thing that comes out of your mouth is authentic and it's more intelligent. All right, reaching out to the sides. This is actually stage 3 wrist stretches. Deep breath in. And exhale, pull in the pinky finger, the ring, the middle, the index finger, the thumb, and roll the knuckles to the ground. Inhale, grab a hold of the open the palms forward, thumbs reach up. And exhale, pull in the thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, the pinky finger, and then tip the knuckles out to the edges of the room, the edges of your mat or whatever, away from you, right? We'll do that again, one on each side. I'm switching feet, by the way. Inhale, push out to the edges. And then exhale, pull in pinky finger, ring, middle, index finger, roll knuckles to the floor. Inhale, open the palms forward. And exhale, pull in the thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, the pinky, and then tip the knuckles out to the edges of the room. And then let that go. And by the way, for those of you who stay on later, I'm going to pull tarot cards after Shavasana. So there we go. All right, so coming on to the floor, coming into a seated position, which I'm probably going to have to adjust down now because I'm not standing up. But I think when I stand up, y'all will still kind of be able to see me. Maybe not quite so much. There we go. All right, so coming onto the floor. We'll come into stage 2 wrist stretches. Like I said I wasn't going to do it. I'll do them in bridge, but I definitely will. I'll still do them in bridge. Can't open up your hands and your wrists enough. But what I am going to do is put on, I don't think I need my socks today. I think I feel pretty good. Fingertips on the floor. Palms lifted. Take a deep breath in. I'm sitting in Bakasana, but you might choose another shape for your legs. All right, so staying in Bakasana, take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower the palms towards the floor. They probably won't reach, especially if you're doing it right, which is keeping the chest open and lifted. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the palms to the floor. Pull the belly in and down, root down for the pelvis. Find that stability. All right, I'm going to stay in Bakasana because we'll actually work our pranayama in that. And I do want to speak to what we'll be doing today, which is the intention of the class today is to work with resistance. So feeling through your practice, feeling those places when you meet resistance in the body. And when you come to those places, what's your approach? Right? Are you gonna whack at it with a hammer and just keep like busting through? Or is a different approach more what is needed? And when I say different, I mean, do you need to have a softer approach? Do you not need to approach it at all? Just need to be aware of it. I'm just making these up. And with your change of approach, can you, and keep breathing with me, by the way, can you then start to see what's behind the resistance? Maybe it's a place in your body that doesn't have support, so doing what you're doing hurts or is resistant or is stagnant or is just numb and you can't really feel it. Maybe the breath isn't deep enough. Maybe you need to cultivate more oxygen again and more intelligence. Maybe you need to draw in more information by breathing in. Wherever the resistance is in your body, I invite you to explore that today with a new approach rather than the way you normally do it. Let's get started. Bakasana with chest opener. We'll inhale to a count of 5. We'll hold for a count of 5. And then exhale into Uddiyana. All right, so I'm going to take, actually, I can leave my glasses on. I guess I can leave my glasses on. All right, chest opener position. Hands come behind the back. Up on fingertips. Palms are up, so you're sort of tenting your fingers on the floor like so. Chest opener. No matter what leg position you choose, spread the toes, activate the feet, and push the heels together. Take a partial breath into, begin Kapalabhati. Actually, are we doing Kapalabhati? I feel like I want to. I didn't actually, it's not written down, but I think I want to. All right, so let's do a round of Kapalabhati first. Take a partial breath in and begin. Now, inhale to a count of 5. Hold the breath. Hands forward, Uddiyana. Exhale. Hold out for 5. Pull belly back to spine. Let belly muscles go. Come back to chest opener for the inhale on 5. Hold breath. Hands forward, exhale. Deep breath out, pull belly in. Hands back into chest opener. We'll do that a couple more rounds. Behind you, inhale. Half lotus twist. The right leg can be extended. Left ankle on top of right thigh. If that doesn't work for you, foot to inner thigh. I'm going to work with the bottom knee bent. All our options. So I said we didn't need a strap. I guess we actually do. You can strap up. You don't actually need to. You might be able to create the reach. That doesn't work for me on this side of the body particularly. So I'm using a strap around the left ankle. Left arm wraps back to grab strap. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And exhale into the twist. Breathing deeply. Noticing where the resistance is and backing off enough to kind of see what the approach could be. To learn about the resistance. So maybe decide you're not going to approach it. Maybe just letting it be what it is. Inhale to unwind and change sides. Again, the bottom leg can be long with the right ankle on top, or maybe you're inside the foot, coming into a twist like so. Yeah, I guess like so. Yeah, it would be like this. Just want to get a feel for what that would be for the modification fully through. I hope you saw that. All right, so strap up the right ankle. Take the strap to the side of the body. Hi, someone who joined me on, hey, Hatching West, Haley. I'm just started on a forest yoga practice. You are welcome to go ahead and join me. Hey, Sophia. Take the strap around the right ankle for half lotus spinal twist. Thread the right arm behind the back to grab onto the strap. And bottom leg can be long for half. All right, inhale, reach arm up. Left arm linens. And then exhale, come into the twist just to the point of resistance. Again, we're working with this practice in a way that allows us to explore the edge of resistance without maybe diving all the way in, to learn more about it and to see if a new approach can be created. Spread the toes, root down for the pelvis. So exploring the resistance is safe, right? It's safe. Because without a proper foundation, without bringing the right tools in, it's really hard to make a really solid investigation and to get the information that you need in order to work with what's in front of you, what feels like it is blockading you. Or again, to even decide if that's something that you even want to get into. Keep the breath steady, full, and deep. So you're using the oxygenation of the body to actually create that tool of investigation. Use that as your flashlight. And then let that go, unwind. Back to center, breathing through the transitions as well. Coming in back into Bakasana for unlocking the hips, stages 1, 2, and 3. So Bakasana are soles of the feet together. And for those of you who join me live on Instagram, the feed will cut out after an hour. So if you want to join me live, I am also recording this on YouTube. And I think just go to Lisa Loring or Lisa Maxwell Loring. And you can find me on there. This is rolling live and that will have no interruption whatsoever. All right, so I'm not taking questions during the course of this, but if you put things in the commentary or want to either live or after, all is good and I'll get to it. All right, Bakasana, unlocking the hip, stage 1. Take the thumb into the left thumb into the left groin crease with the palm on there. And again, so here's where we're going to want to push. So that's the sort of intuitive instinct that you want to do here. With today's practice, there's a lot of birds out there. Take the right hand behind you, coming up onto fingertips, and I'd like you to resist the urge to push. I feel like I'm having a baby, right? So actually don't push. Use the breath to come in and then use the breath and the hand to kind of move the thigh away to create the space that you're trying to create, for lack of a better word. Lean back on the right hand, keeping lifted in chest. Inhale deeply, especially through the right side where you're bending toward. And exhale, lightly push the thigh bone away from the pelvis, lightly. I'm already going too hard, so just so you know. We're going to do like 5 breaths in what amounts to be 3 hand positions. So use the breath. You'll get there. Much of working with resistance requires patience. To get information about the patterning that's behind the resistance can take time. Move the hand a little further down the thigh and angle the chest towards the knee. For me, I'm going to actually angle my chest more towards my ankles because that's where my injury is. And actually move the hand back towards the left hip, inner thigh area. Maintain the foundation of the pose in the hips, pushing them down, and that gives you the freedom to move and explore those areas of resistance and anything else that's coming up. Stage 3. Stage 3 is actually to bring the hands either in front of the shin or to frame the opposite knee to the one that's laying down. I am going to actually do mine here because of my injury. Take a deep breath. That is one thing we're all going to do exactly the same. Spread the toes, push the feet together. Feel how that engages the pelvis even more. Giving more freedom to breathe and expand in the pelvis, the stomach, the upper body. All right, walk your hands to center if they weren't already, like mine kind of were. And let's do the other side. Take the right hand, thumb and groin, anchor down to the left palm on an angle behind you. It's not a really far angle, so I'm pretty tall in the chest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale deeply. Using the breath to melt the resistance. And trying a different approach. I read an interesting thing by another YouTube blogger. I think his name is Victor Odo. That's him. Who talked about the way a stone cutter works. Stone cutter will whack and whack and whack at a piece of wood or stone. But eventually the stone cracks, and he may actually work at it for some time. Stage 2, turning the chest towards the left thigh, keeping the chest open on both sides, breathing in, anchoring in pelvis. So even though the stone cutter is coming at a situation with kind of a whacking, violent kind of approach, but that's appropriate for what he's doing, right? He's cutting stone, which may feel like what you're doing from time to time. Stage 3, take the hands, one to frame in front of the shin and bring the other hand to the outside edge of the knee, turning towards left knee. Renew your foundation if you've got a little twisty, like my right hip is rolling back, so I've got to engage that right buttock a little more to stay up in the chest, scooping that sit bone towards tailbone, breath in. So, again, his approach is appropriate for what he's doing. So that's about right effort, right? Like, what's the right effort to employ, to engage? But generally, we don't need to come at things whacking at it with a hammer. So a more delicate approach is usually what, number one, gets you where you need to go. You learn as you go along. And you arrive with a better outcome. More intelligent outcome, being patient, and even the stone cutter is patient, even though his external efforts would appear not. Inhale to come up and back to center. All right. Let's come on to the back. So now we're working into abdominals. Abdominals can feel like you need to like go hard. How can you find a different approach? So come on to the back. If you're on a hard surface, I recommend maybe patting the back a bit with a more open blanket. It doesn't need to be so high, but I would open up the blanket to provide a little more softness and a little more give for the back to move into the floor. For elbow to knee is where we'll start. We'll work from elbow to knee. We're working Supta Bakasana and then frog lifting through. Come on to the back. Now here's where I will take off my glasses and I grab some water. I'm having some vitamin C because I'm thinking I'm cold. Let's see what's up. All right. And I think I'm going to actually take off one of my layers. Layers. All right. Come on to the back. Interlace hands at the base of the skull. Feet can stay on the ground. And actually, I'll cue this from stage 1, 2, and 3. Activate the feet. Push down through the heels. Take a deep breath in. Lift up shoulders. Exhale. Push right leg forward. Turn elbows left. Pull belly down. Scoop sit bone towards tailbone. Pull belly down again. Inhale. Lay shoulders down. Foot down. Hold breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale. Lift up shoulders. Push left leg forward. Turn elbows right. Pull low belly down. Inhale. Lay shoulders down. Hold breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, lift shoulders up, push right leg forward, turn elbows left, pull low belly down. I'm scooping my right sit bone to my tailbone for more support. You might feel like that works for you. Pull belly down again. Inhale, lay shoulders down. Hold breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, lift shoulders up, push left leg forward, turn elbows right, pull low belly down. Find that scoop of the tailbone. Pull belly down. Do 3 more at your own. Moving to stage 2, pick heels up off the floor, knees bent. You can continue working stage 1. I'm going to cue stage 2, however. The cues are similar. Inhale, hold breath. Scoop tailbone up. Exhale, reach right leg forward. Shoulders stay lifted. Turn elbows right, pull belly down. Inhale, come back to center. So the only real difference is the shoulders stay up. Hold breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, push left leg forward, turn elbows right, pull low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, push right leg forward, turn elbows left, pull belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, turn elbows right, push left leg forward, pull low belly down. Do 3 more on your own. And keep going. If you stopped, come back to the practice by coming back to the breath and determine why you're resistant to doing abdominals. Like, where is it like uncomfortable? Soften around that area. Make it comfortable. What can you do as a different approach to make it comfortable? Usually it's in the breath. Supta Bakasana. Pull the soles of the feet together. Lengthen arms up overhead, palms to the ceiling. Bend elbows just a little, though, not a 90-degree bend, even remotely. And find that Uddiyana action. Maybe not go into full Uddiyana, but find the Uddiyana action in the belly here in Supta Bakasana. Bring soles of, actually, so in forest yoga, we like to encourage continued support of the thighs. For me, that's not actually workable. That's for one of my cats needs to go out. So, because my arms are a little short for my, well, they're not short for my body. They are what they are. But that's what's up. And so to place my hands to my legs actually aggravates my shoulders. But for you, you might feel that a comfortable placement at the thighs does help support the legs back together. But get there no matter which way you do. And then come into frog lifting through with the knees bent. Heels are just below the line of the knees, or about the line of the knees. And your knees are not way up here. This is lack of hamstring engagement. Here is you're going to be able to reach through the thigh bones. I think if I come here, so I probably need to move this. Okay, there you go, Haley. That's probably easier for you. All right, so frog lifting through. Activate the feet, reaching through the calves, reaching from the buttocks through to the heels. Interlace hands at the base of the skull, point elbows straight up, and the elbows coming out to the side, as Heidi Sormez had posted a few days ago. Having the elbows out to the side does not support the neck, and we want to support what we're doing no matter what, because when you are supported, meeting resistance is much easier in the body and in life, right? Inhale. Lift head and shoulders off the floor. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Stay up in the tailbone. Exhale. Reach out through the thigh bones. Pull belly down. Pubic bone curls to navel. Relax your neck and your hands. Inhale. Make it about the body. Make your abs about your abs, not your neck. Hold breath. Actually, there's no hold. Exhale. Curl tailbone up. Pull belly down. Reach out from the thigh bones. Push through the heels as though you're pushing on a wall without straightening the knees like I was just trying to do. Inhale into the pelvis. Exhale. Pull belly down, reach through the thighs, wrap the shoulders around so you feel the bottom blades coming towards the sternum. Inhale into the back, into the torso, into the pelvis. Like that kind of breath is what supports doing this work. Exhale, curl tailbone up, push out through the heels. All right, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let you do this for about 5 more. That might have been 4 for me. That might have been 5. I'm going to do one more because I want to. To come out of the pose, lower the shoulders, and my thighs have crept up, right? Because my hamstrings are tight because I'm working an injury. So that happened. So my legs were easier to reach. But there it is. All right, bridge. And you might want to grab that wooden block or block of any sort. Blocks if you want them, or maybe your rolled up mat if you don't have a really super sturdy block. We're going to work wrist stretches in bridge today. Let me just double check the writing. Yep. We are going to do them, and this is a posture that I actually do resist. I hate doing wrist stretches in bridge. I'm going to do them, and I'm going to do them and find a way to not be resistant. New approach, right? All right. Bridge, heels on the floor, just a bit wider than hip distance, feet are spread. Deep breath in. Exhale, push to the heels to scoop pelvis off floor. And before you go into anything, like, right, part of meeting resistance isn't about just going into it blindly. Set up the supports. All right, wrist stretches, stage 1. Extend the left hand up, palm up, fingertips pointing away from the face, towards the knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, pull back on the pinky finger. And I've already said that this is a difficult pose for me. So I'm not going to talk each digit through. You got to do it. And for me, I'm resisting the urge to cue you on this because I feel responsible to do that. What's your edge? What are you working? Switching hands when you've arrived at the thumb on the opposite hand. Stage 2 wrist stretches. Take the fingertips to the floor, palms stay lifted. You're right about shoulder height. Deep breath across upper chest. And exhale, push the palms towards the floor as though you would propel up into a wheel. Back bend. Pushing down towards the floor quite a bit. All right, that actually was interesting. Inhale and exhale, lower down. As I just learned, it was my own brain that, and my previous experiences with that sequence that was blocking me from wanting to move into that. And I had a much easier time because somehow in the few years since I approached that pose, apparently I've learned to support myself. That's good news. Yay me. I like it. Can you tilt the camera down? Got you. I don't know, Haley. You know what? How about that? That better? Probably. And the emoji bats. That's hilarious. All right. Hopefully that works. Okay. That looks like it will. And I think it will when I go to standing too. Yes, it does. I love it. Okay. So speaking of standing, going to dolphin. Turbo dog first. All right. Let's actually move over to the wall. So let's find a little wall space. If you didn't already. And like I said, I'm just using 2 mats today because it's easier for me to not be messing with mats. All right. Actually, I need to, for the YouTube livers, do this game so y'all can see the wall. Oh, fun of technology. I should have like 2 cameras. Okay, there we go. How's that works? Can't tell yet. We'll see how it works. Oh, Vesper, you want to come in, honey? Come on, honey. Come on, sweetheart. There you are. Yes, come on in. Now you chased all the devs. Okay. All right. So coming into, and I'll try to pay attention as close as I can, Haley, to the feed. It's far away. And I don't have my glasses on when I go upside down. All right. So let's work with Turbo Dog. So coming into Turbo Dog, hands and knees, hands under shoulders. And then Start with hands under shoulders. See, I'm already going. See, there I am. I'm going right into, I'm not setting myself up for success, am I? All right, stop. Put your hands one palm print forward and then lower elbows about 3 inches off the floor. I hope you can see that I'm not all the way down as we would be in dolphin. You're actually up off the floor. Knees are a little behind, a smidge, if anyone knows the word smidge, behind the line of the hips. So it's not directly under the hips, which would be here. It's maybe about 3 inches to 4 or 5 inches back. Relax the neck and stay on hands and knees, toes curled under behind. Take a deep breath in to the upper back. Exhale, wrap the shoulders down the back and forward towards sternum. That same cue I gave you earlier to light up the chest. Do that again. Take a deep breath in because this might be where you stay. Filling into upper back, exhale, wrap the shoulders down and forward, pull belly in and push back through the feet. So this might be where you stay. If you have further to go, lift the knees, the pelvis, straightening legs. Deep breath in. Exhale, wrap shoulders, pull belly in, squeeze in our elbows towards one another. Elbows stay hovering at that 3-inch mark. Breathe in deeply. We're going to do 3 more breaths here if you can. Come to your knees if you just need to work the arm piece. And then release. So I'm working with all kinds of stuff in my body, right? I'm kind of all over the place. But those are basically the mechanics. And that's a tough, tough pose. Can't tell you. I think you probably can by now. All right, coming into dolphin at the wall. So back it up so the feet are now on the wall behind you. Curl the toes under and anchor the heels. Your knees are hip distance. The toes are curled under. The heels are on the baseboard. I need to pull up my sleeves for this. Anchoring elbows on the floor. Grab upper arms to measure the distance of the arms. If you've got a good grab, that's where you are. If you've got too good of a grab, you might be too close, right? So you want to be able to grab them with a box-shaped arm. Swivel the hands forward and interlace the fingers to a clasp if you have a shoulder injury or would like to feel that additional support, right? Otherwise, separate the forearms with the palms on the mat, fingers spread wide. Take a deep breath into upper back. Exhale, wrap the shoulders forward. Again, lighting up the chest so the neck can let go, right? That's a different approach. Lift the knees if you'd like. Lift up hips. The knees can stay down. You can still work just the upper body part. Breathe into the upper back. Exhale, wrap the shoulder forward, shoulder blades forward. Push through the arms down. And this might be where you lift your hips if you aren't there already. To go further, step one foot up at the wall and then the opposite foot at hip height. The line of your hips making an L shape in the body. Spread the toes. Push the feet against the wall as though you would make suction cups. Straighten the back by pulling the belly in and lifting the tailbone towards the ceiling. Pushing the forearms into the floor. Where is the edge of resistance? What is your approach? Can it be different? To come out of the pose, step one foot and then the other down. Stay relaxed in the neck. Support yourself in other ways. Forearm balance could also be one there, but I'm working therapeutically, so I'm not doing those today. A really therapeutic move is chest opener on the wall. That's a great pose. So this opens up the chest. There you go. All right, so coming into chest opener at the wall, coming into a warrior 1 foot position at the wall, the forearm, the body is forearm distance from the wall. Anchor the elbow into the left hip. It's the left hip that's facing the wall with the left palm on the wall with the elbow bent. So you're like this with your arm, right? But on the opposite side. Bend the left knee, run the front knee, and straighten the back leg coming into the warrior legs. And then extend the left hand behind you with the fingertips pointing away from the body. Take right hand, breathe in. Exhale, bring right hand to left upper chest so the fingers are on the collarbones. Feed the body with breath. Feed the areas of resistance, tightness, stagnant, stale energy. That's resistance. And those areas of resistance are places that we simply right now just want to pay attention to. Use the breath to investigate. Why don't you want to go there? Why doesn't that want to move? Like a 2-year-old, it can be really hard to move without force. And that's hardly the way you want to approach a 2-year-old. So come out of the pose, inhale to straighten the front leg and turn to the opposite side. You can just kind of spin around, turn to the opposite side. I think you're okay, Haley. Yeah, you're good. Okay, so stepping into warrior 1 position with the right leg forward. Find that forearm distance again, again at the wall. Inhale, left arm out, and then exhale over to the right upper chest. Slide the right hand back as far as feels comfortable. I actually don't do that with this side of my body. It is not good for it. Finding what does feel good and comfortable is a way to learn about how to approach those areas of resistance. Or at least learn about the approach. Learn how to put in the right supports. Like, what are the supports behind what feels good? Well, learning about that will tell you a lot about the approach that might be needed for those areas of stagnancy and staleness. Straighten through the front leg, inhale to come up, and then unwind. Down dog on the wall, hands under shoulders. Toes curled under behind, knees are directly under pelvis, heels on the wall. Spread hands. Push through the hands into the floor, push the feet back against the wall. See the whole body engagement? That's great support, right? Breathe into that. Exhale, wrap the shoulder blades forward, pull belly in, push further into the wall with the heels, maybe straighten legs, lift hips. If you have further to go, step left foot on the wall and then right, coming into an L-shaped position. But any of the hands, you stay on the knees and do that. You feel how much work you were doing? When you straighten the legs, the toes were still on the floor. Did you feel how much work you were doing? Like, go with the move right now that makes you feel conscious, where you're learning something. You're building intelligence. Can you resist the impulse to do more? Can you resist the impulse to stay small and safe? Is that where the resistance is? What do you need to like move beyond those places? Come out of the pose, step one foot down and then the other if you're in the full version of the pose. Let's do some sun salutations. All right. You can come away from the wall for this one. All right, I'm going to move the other computer up here. I think you can see me just fine. Probably need to tilt that camera up a little bit. Woo. What's that noise? Oh, let's see what's going on. Oh, technology. Technology, technology. Oh, how we love thee greatly. Not so much. Okay. I think we still need to angle it down. All right, Hales, I think you will be able to see me. Yep, looks pretty good. All right, sun salutations. Come right up to the front of your mat. Feet can be hip distance or together, you pick. It's up to you. And then we'll move to some B series. B series is Steph. All right. Inhale, reach arms up. Forest yoga moves. Wrap shoulder blades forward. Tuck tail. Push down to the legs. There's support. Forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, step the left leg back. Again, flip your mat over if you need to pad the knee if you're on a hard surface. Wait for your breath in to reach arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Curl back toes under, step into plank. You can work with the knees down position. I'll do that now. Lower all the way to the floor. Low cobra, slide hands forward of shoulders. Curl pubic bone against floor, reach back legs. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, lower down, move hands back under shoulders. Here, push into a table position. Then maybe go all the way to downward facing dog. Inhale, low lunge, step left foot forward. Point right toes straight back, reach arms up. Exhale, forward fold, step right foot forward. To hip distance or toes together. Anchor down in heels. Inhale, round or reach to come up. You're only rounding if you do not have a bone density issue. Do not. If you do, you aren't rounding. It's always straight back. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And I recommend that for everybody. Using the belly muscles to support the back as you do those straight back bends. Okay, low lunge, step right leg back. Inhale, knee down. Arms can come up or not. You can keep them low. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back. Plank pose or hands and knees. Lower down through the knees or all the way to the belly. Slide hands forward, point toes back, low cobra, lengthen forward through the chest. Curl pubic bone into floor. Exhale, lower down, move hands back under shoulders, moving to table or downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, bring left knee down, point toes, reach arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, step forward and fold. Inhale, reach around to come up. Wrap the shoulders, tuck the tail, push through the feet, right? In addition to the belly, those other three supports integrate every part of what's being done. Inhale, reach arms up. Forward fold. Step left leg back, low lunge. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Lower down through the knees or full chaturanga. And everything you do, find those forest yoga moves. And then start learning about those places of resistance. Once the foundation's there, inhale, step left foot forward, low lunge, right toes straight back. Exhale, forward and fold. Inhale, round or reach to come up. So not just in mountain, or else can you work those moves? Keep going on your own. I'm on the final round, so I'm doing the right side. All right. So, yes. An hour. I'll start it again or get on YouTube. That is still running. An Instagrammer. Okay. All right. So let's start it again. And we'll do it again. Okay. All right, so we just finished doing the sun salutations in classic suns. Ooh, heaty. So let's do some water. And let's work in B series. All right. So starting with B series, feet can again be hip distance or apart. I'm not loving. I think you can kind of see what's going on. All right. Inhale, reach up into chair, sit hips way back. So again, the reach up to chair is to the chest, right? Not a, an overextension of the arm. What's the right effort? Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, scooping the chest forward. There'll be 2 pose vignettes that we do. Exhale, step back into cobra. That means there'll be 2 poses between sides. Inhale, lengthen forward through the chest. Curl the pubic bone into the floor. And exhale, lower down. Push back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Warrior 2 with eagle. Step the left foot forward. Guess we're not using that. Push to the inner back heel. Exhale, draw right elbow on top of left. If you are shoulder injured, I encourage just pushing the inner forearms together. Stage 1 is wrapping the arms with the back of palms together. Stage 2 is a wrap of the wrists. But notice I'm not not bending my wrists to get there. So pick the one where you're not forcing. Try a different approach. Inhale to open out through the arms and coming into reverse warrior. You can work in a modification with the palm down with the front arm for more of the neck release. Otherwise, reach arm up. I'm going to work here in this modification because that feels good. That feels like where I get the possibility of opening. So again, yeah, I could do the other one, but this is a different approach. To allow the body to heal in the time that it takes. Not trying to make it do something that it's not ready to do. Inhale. Stepping into plank. Exhale to the floor for cobra pose or low cobra. And I'll lengthen forward through the chest. I'm not going to come up too high because I don't work at a different approach, right? Downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot forward, feet of warrior 2, eagle warrior 2. Reach out through the arms, push down through the legs. And coming into the variation, for your shoulders, that feels right. Again, spread through the hands. No limpy folded wrists. No bowed heads either. Breathe up and open through the chest. Wrap the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone. Forest yoga moves. Reverse warrior. Inhale. You can reach that right arm up and over, which I'm going to do on this side. Make a different approach. Like, where's the resistance? The things in my body. Come out of the pose, reach forward through that arm, both hands to floor, plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Cobra pose, inhale. Anchor to the pubic bone down to come up. Reach to the legs. That's a foundation for cobra. Lower down. Downward facing dog. Extended warrior variation. Inhale to come up. You might need the block for the next move, so get that handy. Bring that left forearm onto thigh, palm up. Inhale, right arm reaches out. Exhale, bring right arm behind the back to grab close of your thigh. And RIP block. Oh no. Oh, that other block, yeah. No worries. Do you need blocks, Tails? Let's see what we can get for you. Bring a hand to wrap onto thigh, like I said, or your pants. I'm doing a little scoop of my right sit bone into the tailbone. That supports my right hip, low back. See if those kind of moves create support for you to meet resistance. All right, extended warrior. You can work with your block or some other kind of support here. Maybe just continue working with the arm, left arm on the thigh for extended warrior. So I find once we get down, people do really weird stuff in their pelvis and low back. It doesn't feel good. Reach up through the right arm and then exhale overhead. I'm going to actually keep my right arm open and reaching up. But the more formal pose is to reach arm over the ear. Once I start figuring the pose out with my head, I'm going to start breathing in my body. And you'll probably notice the difference when I do that. Reach to the back wall to come out of the pose with the top arm. Pivot down, step back, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Cobra pose. Inhale to come up to the chest. Find the supports. Legs and pelvis. Lower down. Keep them there as you come out. Downward facing dog. Extended warrior variation. Step right foot forward. Get it back, heel down. Bring left arm behind the back to grab pants or the thigh. I can do that. That's not possible for lots of people, so clothing grab is perfect. Because that clothing grab is a very subtle support piece. Extended warrior. Inhale, unwind the back arm. You lower your right hand to a block or keep the forearm on the thigh if you don't have a block. I recommend that. And I'm not going to bring my arm over my ear again. I can. This is more productive. Unwind, inhale. Bring the left forearm down. step back, plank pose. And then exhale, lower down. Support through pelvis, back through legs, inhale to come up. And exhale, lower. Push back, downward facing dog. Triangle pose, step the left foot forward. Not as big a step as warrior two. And again, you may want to use a block or the hand on the shin below the knee, or maybe even up on the thigh. Reach your right arm up. Lower the top arm down to the floor. Ekapada Bakasana we'll do. And what's the other crow? Oh, left leg twisting crow. Okay. So come into Ekapada Bakasana by bringing the back knee down to the floor. All right, let's do this differently. Take a block in front of you if you have one. If you don't, what do I recommend? I'll try to do it without the block. You have a block somewhere. A cat ate the other block. You got to get yourself some yoga stuff, girly. All right, so coming onto a block if you can. If you do not have a block, I'll try to do it without. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. We can do this. Yeah. You just need to come up onto the ball of the left foot. So it's the left foot that's going to be in front. If you have a block, it's easier. That makes sense? All right. If you're using a block, it looks like this. The block, the front foot is on the block. And it just gives you a little more clearance, right? It's a little more stable to push down into. If you're not using a block, you're coming up onto the ball of the foot. Back heel is lifted. Draw the knee into the body and then reach the leg behind you, scooping the elbows in like turbo dog. Lower the foot. Right? I'm going to use a block because I have one and I can, and it's much more supportive to moi. All right? So the front shin is anchored onto the upper back of the upper left tricep. And you're lifting the back leg up and reaching through that leg. Reach the leg. Push the shin against the arm. Turn on turbo dog arms. Light up the chest. Breathe in. And then lower down. Whoo. That was a big deal. All right. So let's come into boat with hands clasped. Inhale, step back into plank pose. And then exhale, lower down. Interlace hands behind the back. Reach back to the sit bones towards the toes. You can keep the elbows bent if you need to, right? Inhale, lift to come up. Keep the reach to the legs. That's more important than how high you lift in the chest. And release. Bring hands under shoulders, push up. Downward facing dog. Triangle pose. Inhale, step the right foot forward, pivot back, heel down. Again, it's not as big a step. Inhale to come up. I'm actually, so RIP block. I'm going to actually use my foam block here because right now this feels like a very supportive move for me. Not that big. Put my block on my shin and have my hand here. Otherwise, the hand could be on the block inside the leg or to the floor. What the point is to keep the right waist lengthening forward. Left foot pushing back. Breathing into both sides of the waist. And then release. Ekapada, Bakasana. So come up onto the ball of the right foot if you do not have a block. Anchor the right forearm, sorry, not the forearm, the upper arm, back of upper arm against the shin. And then you're reaching back with that leg, reaching back with the legs. Like I said, the earlier both, the reach of the leg is more important than anything you're doing in the chest because that will happen by virtue of what's going on in the leg. Make sense? All right. If you have a block, grab the block and step onto it with front foot. Same position with the hand though. It's the same thing. Push the shin and the arm together. Reach back with the back leg. See, the more you reach, the more you can breathe. And that's counterintuitive to what you want to be doing with that leg. Like you probably just want to just let it hang like spaghetti. But reach more with the leg. Push right shin on arm. And then lower the back leg down. And of course, I was doing lots of weird things with my neck. You might have been too. We'll work on that a little later. But let's try to keep relaxing the neck as we move through. Okay. Tails are still good. Alrighty. Just step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Wrap the shoulders as you exhale. Lift up tailbone. Push through legs. All right. Arrow lunge, step the left foot forward, bring right knee to floor. Point back toes. Pad your knee if you are on a hard surface, which I think you probably are, Haley. And you can keep your hands on the floor if you need to. Take a deep breath in. Floor or blocks. Exhale, reach through the back toes to lift the back knee. This might be where you stay, or you might come with forearms up on the front thigh. You might reach arms up. But keep the reach of the back leg, no matter what you're doing with everything else in the upper body. Reach like crazy through the back leg. Scoop both sit bones towards tailbone. And slightly forward to clear out the low back. And then lower down. Twisting lunge. Curl the back toes under. Scoop the front heel towards you. Sit up tall in torso. Push down through the back shin, down through the front heel. Reach right arm up. And exhale. Elbow on top of thigh or outside thigh. Make a fist. Cup it with left palm. Inhale to unwind. Step back, plank pose. Inhale. Lower down, interlace hands behind the back. Anchor the pubic bone in the floor. Inhale to lengthen and reach back through legs. Lift chest. Reaching through the legs. Lower down. Hands under shoulders. Push back. Downward facing dog. Arrow lunge, inhale, step the right foot forward, bring left knee down, pad the knee. Hands can be on the floor or on blocks. You have 3 heights to the block too, right? Scoop the sit bones toward tailbone. Inhale, lift back knee, reaching through the back leg, reaching down through front shin and heel. Arms can come up if you want, but what you're doing with the legs is more important. Set the foundation to meet the resistance. Another ways to support the body, again, are forest yoga moves. Exhale, wrap shoulders, pull belly in, tuck tail. Let the breath guide every one of those moves. And then lower the back leg to the floor, twisting lunge. Bring the front heel close into the body. I think I cued to curl the back toes under on the last twisting lunge. That's wrong. We don't do that. The back toes stay straight, pointing straight, not kind of like curled in and with the ankle sickled. We don't do that either. Anyway, front heel's right under the knee. Inhale, push down through back shin, front heel, reach left arm up. Exhale, bring left elbow on top or outside the knee. Make your fist, cup it with right palm. Where's the resistance? Where's the support? What's the pattern of resistance that blinds us from the support? Inhale, unwind. And step back to downward facing dog. Pigeon, inhale, step, bring the left foot forward, lower onto the left shin. Keep the right leg back. If you need to bend the back knee to do that, that's fine, but keep the front shin parallel with the front of the mat. Other ways to support the body would be to use a blanket or a block underneath the left hip. I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can see if Haley is saying anything. Cat ate it. No, we're still there. Okay. So support under the left hip, excuse me. Point the toes straight back. If you can lengthen the leg, scoop the right sit bone towards tailbone to help square hips with the front of the mat. Activate both feet. Pigeon twisting to thigh. Inhale. Spread through the chest. Exhale, wrap shoulders, tuck tail, activate legs, and then walk the hands around to the left knee. You may come down to forearms, maybe even an elbow, like twisting lunge. Make a fist with right hand, cup it with left hand. Relax the neck. Stay committed to the breath rather than thoughts, rather than trying to figure stuff out. And unwind, inhale. Twist foot. Deep breath in. And exhale. You can come down to the forearms, stay up high, or bring the elbow inside the arch of left foot. Make your fist, cup it with right palm. Inhale to unwind. Half boat. Step back into plank. And lower down. Bring hands to, stack palms on top of one another in front of you. Bring forehead onto palms, back of hands. Half boat, inhale, curl the pubic bone into the floor, lengthen back to the legs and then lift. Chest and shoulders stay down, relax. Like I said, like this helps us turn off the neck. And then lower down. Hands under shoulders, downward facing dog. Pigeon, twist to thigh, inhale, step the right foot forward, bring the right knee and shin to the floor. Shin is parallel with front of mat. Do what you need to with the back leg, even bending it significantly to make that happen. The support under the right hip might be needed here. So grab a block or a blanket or some other supportive, just lift, right? And scoop the sit bones towards the tailbone to square hips forward. Curl the pubic bone forward. Maybe staying up in the chest as you twist to thigh. Exhale. Maybe come down to the knees. I'm not going to do, actually that feels pretty good. But I'm going to use my breath to figure out what continues to feel good, right, and supportive. Twist to foot, inhale, lengthen to the chest, breathing in. Exhale. Coming to hands, forearms, or the elbow in the arch of left foot. Consciously stay with the sensations in the body, the resistance. What are you resisting here? What can bring you to a place of acceptance and just letting things be? Inhale to unwind. And push back, downward facing dog. Shoulder stand. Now, Miss Haley, I know you don't have a block, girl, but let's see, I got one person on here. Let's see. Maybe a couple of heavy books will work, stacked. Oh, there's a beautiful cardinal right outside the door. And then a blanket on top of those to support your back and not be too much pressure on your sacrum. That would be what I would recommend. Take a minute to pull that together. I will wait for you. And look over the rest of the practice. And then we'll move from there to laying down spinal twist. Now, Haley, if you feel that you can do this without a block, cardinals are angels. Yes, they are. Hi, Tim, right? Isn't that Tim? It's Tim. Super awesome. All right, so let's do, if you feel like you can do it without I have a Mexican blanket. Awesome. Well, Mexican blanket. Yes, I have one too. We're gonna have to get you some more yoga equipment. That's a cork block or a wind block. Those are actually not so expensive because not so many people buy them. Or I might be able to get you some from the studio. Let me check with Kieran, okay? Anyway, let's come into the pose. Even a couple of pillows or whatever. You can also do it supporting yourself. I think what I'd like you to do, Haley, with your blanket is to take your blanket and, sorry, my Starbucks card's in. Okay, good. What I'd like you to do actually is take your blanket and fold it up like so. So I would prefer that your neck had support more than I have a cork one. You do. You have a cork one. Okay, get your cork block. That's what you want. Oh, but that's the one that's missing, maybe. Anyway, okay. That's right. You do have a cork block. I remember. Take your blanket. I want your neck to have support. So if you come into shoulder stand, what I would like to see you do is to support the low back with your hands if you can, but I want to make sure that you're doing more with the legs, and that's the point of having the block, because if we come into these poses with the legs extended up in the sky, the tendency is to grip in the upper body. So when you come into shoulder stand, I really want that reach of the leg to be emphasized, and the hands on the back are just to support. They're not steering you. But we're going to come into things like windmill, right? So that's where the arms might start to get like a little too engaged. So that was why I was suggesting the block or some books or something like that. All right. If you have a block, if you got blocks, grab them. Shoulder stand with a block, and then shoulder stand windmill to twisted root. 5 breaths for all of it. All right. So if you have a block, grab it so we can engage in the legs. Inhale, bend knees into chest. Actually, come into bridge pose. Inhale, arms at your sides. This is the way we come into it. God, I haven't taught this one in a while. Exhale, push down through the heels to lift in pelvis. And then bring block under pelvis. If you have it, you may need to adjust where your blanket is. Make sure that your shoulders are off the blanket on the floor. The neck is what's supported by the roll of the blanket. And it's the roll of the blanket, not the fringy part. And then draw sit bones to tailbone. Reach up through the right leg and sit bones to tailbone. Now you're reaching up through the back leg. I love the lobster claw move on the hips to help reach through the legs. Right? So reaching up to the legs, reaching the buttocks forward and then up through the legs is a really great move. So again, you're working with hamstring support. So the legs are not over the belly, they're over the pelvis. Right? Reaching buttocks forward, up through hamstring, opening up in chest. The forearms push down into the floor. Right? So we're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. So I can breathe. You can get more feel for the pose. If you have a block, you're pushing the sacrum on the block. Sit bones forward, legs up for everybody. And bring the legs down for just a moment. You can hang out on the block and bridge for a minute. Oh, I itch my itchy nose. Okay, so now we'll work in windmill. I showed you the windmill legs, and again, I'm sorry I actually didn't do the windmill moves, but my pre-prep ones on here, but there we are. And the same moves are what we're going to be working here. And so bring the legs up off the floor, reaching through the legs the entire time. To come into windmill, create splits in the legs and twist over to the side, reaching through the legs like crazy. I should have done scissors in this. To come back to center, legs come together, and then exhale, twisting, reaching through the legs. Keeping the chest open like we did in those chest opener moves. All right. Twisted root. Bend the knees. You can hook the left foot under the right shin if you can. Reach up to the legs, push the sit bones forward, and then reach up to the knees and the thigh bones. This is designed to be done without the block too. I'll do the other side without the block. And then unwind the legs. So I'm going to bring my feet down for just a moment to show you what all of this looks like without the block, and I'll do the twist on the other side as well. So let me set myself up for those of you who don't have the support of a block. Inhale. Arms at the sides, feet active. Exhale, push through active feet, lift pelvis. Actually, now. Inhale, bend knees into chest, lift pelvis over chest, and then hands come onto the back. I literally haven't taught this in like 3 years. So here we are. Reaching through the legs. Buttocks push forward and then reach up. That doesn't change. I don't care how many years have passed. Now the windmill moves are to split the legs, keep reaching through the legs. Right, push down through the forearm so the chest stays open. Neck is not moving, neck is not working. Reach to the legs to help that happen. Reach down into the forearms to help that happen. And then the twisted root on this side would be to cross right thigh over left, maybe hook right foot behind left ankle or calf. Reach buttocks forward and legs up even here because this one can get pretty crunchy. All right, to come out of the pose, unwind the legs, use the hands, forearms in the ground to support the hips without doing anything in the neck. Can you do that? Can you approach that differently? All right, laying down spinal twist. I'm going to put my warmy things on now because we're not coming up from here. You can do twisted root in the legs with the spinal twist if you want, but scooping the sit bones towards the tail is a really important piece of that twisted root move. All right, warmy stuff because it is cold in my corner of the world. How's Tails doing? Ha ha ha, yeah, don't know where it is. All right. So, all right, lying down spinal twist with twisted root options. So again, support your neck if you'd like. Draw left thigh over the right thigh. You can double bind if you want, and then lower the knees down. Again, you can use a block or not if you don't have one. So your knees aren't going all the way to the floor, but you have the experience of the more intricate twist in the legs. You can prop it with more anything though, really, like a blanket is fine here because that would probably be softer than this crazy cork block. All right, let's settle into it. Keep the legs active, toes spread. You see how that makes a difference? Scoop the right sit bone in. That lengthens the low back. Opens the chest. To come out of the pose, and wind the legs first. Step the left foot down. and then the right. If you want to move into twisted root, cross right thigh over left. Otherwise, knees can be stacked, right? Laying down, spinal twist, lower the knees over to the left. Keep the feet active, calves on, scooping tailbone to sit bone. Come out of the pose, unwind the legs. And step both feet on the floor. Supta Bakasana with Uddiyana. I'm just setting myself up for other things. So gather your stuff around for Shavasana because we'll be moving into Shavasana next. After Shavasana, I'm going to pull some tarot cards, which I haven't been doing, but I've been wanting to doing it. It's Saturday, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing it. All right, so let's set ourselves up for Supta Bakasana. If you've got props around you, keep them away, or you might want to use the props for knee support. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, thumbs in the groin creases, chest open, right? Don't roll the shoulders forward, keep them open. Take a deep breath in. Hold breath. We'll do 3 rounds. Exhale out. Push the feet together more than push thighs away. Pull low belly down. Release the belly. Deep breath in. Release the belly. Deep breath in. Let that go. Bring legs to center. Let's get ready for
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Hi, Echo. All right, I'm using a chest opening position for my Shavasana. I'm using my rolled up mat. You don't have to if you want to. Just use a rolled up blanket between the shoulder blades and a support for the head. Otherwise, your head will be lolling back and it's going to be tough to keep that and relax in Shavasana. We'll do a 5-minute Shavasana. So come on to the back with the whatever prop between your shoulder blades if you want to. None of that is necessary. That's just what I'm doing. Okay? I will set the timer for 5 minutes. Echo, you're like really loud. Echo, turn volume to 3. Echo, set a meditation time for 5 minutes.
Meditation timer, 5 minutes.
Echo.
Starting now.
Echo, set volume to 3.
Meditation timer, 5 minutes. Starting now.
That was better. And again, knees can be bent with the feet on the floor, especially if you're using a chest opener option. But in either a legs extended or knees bent, tuck the tailbone, lengthen the low back.
Your meditation timer is done.
Echo, turn off meditation timer. If your legs are extended, bend both knees, place feet on floor. And if you're on props, gently roll away to one side and lower to the floor. Put hands on the floor to come up. If you want to stay in Shavasana longer, please do. And no matter what you choose, take a moment to feel what about you, physically, mentally, whatever that might be, is less resistant, feels more at ease. Where you feel more supported in making a different approach. Either you have more information, you had some kind of eye-opening experience, just a new perspective. Bring hands to heart center, keep them low. For those of you who are finishing. And no matter where you are in your practice, I bow to you. Namaste. Like 75. Oh, it's warm there, like 75. Well, that's 75. So, Hals, I'm going to end this live stream because it's probably going to end on its own anyway. But I'm going to keep the live one going here because I'm going to pull some tarot cards. So that's one. Actually, maybe I'll just keep it going. I don't know how long it'll last. Maybe it'll cut out. But I'll just start it when it ends. Anyway, I'm going to do some tarot cards. Actually, I wanted some coffee. Anyway, I guess not. I may just start another live one. And we go get something to drink. And so I'm going to put it all on pause and I'll come back. Yeah, I'm going to start another live stream, Haley, okay? Bye. I'll be back. Okay, I'll start another one in a little bit. I got to pee and I got to something to eat. A drink. Bye. What was that? I'll pop into the other. Yeah, I'll get on in a little bit. I'll text you when I get on. All right, bye. Okay, I'll just end it here.